Welcome back. The COVID-19 pandemic is by no means over. Caribbean countries continue to grapple with the issue. While some, like St. Lucia, can boast of successful containment and management of the virus thus far, others, like Jamaica, continue to see a rise in the number of cases. As of the 23rd of April 2020, all 15 of St. Lucia's recorded COVID-19 cases have recovered. The island to date has no active COVID-19 cases. St. Lucia, however, remains on high alert for the virus and continues to urge members of the public to not form a false sense of security from the good figures. Sister Isle Martinique to date has recorded 175 confirmed COVID-19 cases, 14 deaths and 77 recoveries. St. Vincent and the Grenadines to date has no COVID-19 related deaths, 15 confirmed cases and 5 recoveries. As of Sunday the 26th of April, Guadeloupe had a total of 149 confirmed COVID-19 cases with no new cases being recorded. The island has a total of 95 confirmed recovered COVID patients. In the last few hours, Jamaica recorded 45 new COVID-19 cases, taking its total to 350 confirmed cases. The island has recorded 7 deaths and 28 recoveries. To date, the island has tested over 3,000 people for the virus. As of the 26th of April, Barbados recorded 7 more recoveries, taking the total number of recoveries to 39. Barbados has a total of 79 cases of COVID-19 and 6 deaths. On Saturday, Bermuda recorded 10 new COVID-19 cases, taking its total to 109. Thus far, the island has recorded 39 recoveries and 5 deaths. To date, there is a total of 3,020,643 confirmed COVID-19 cases globally and 208,501 deaths. New Zealand says it has stopped community transmission of COVID-19, effectively eliminating the virus. With new cases in single figures for several days, one on Sunday, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said the virus was currently eliminated. But officials have warned against complacency, saying it does not mean a total end to new coronavirus cases. The news comes hours before New Zealand was set to move out of its toughest level of social restrictions. From Tuesday, some non-essential businesses, healthcare and education activity will be able to resume. Most people will still be required to remain at home at all times and avoid all social interactions. Former Minister for Sustainable Development, Dr. James Fletcher, says the COVID-19 pandemic has brought into sharp focus the island's major issue of water insecurity. WASCO has informed customers that water conservation measures are being implemented to ride out current drought conditions. Dry conditions continue at this time, and the prediction for this weather pattern has been forecasted well into 2020 by weather experts. WASCO is currently employing a number of options to ensure that the available water supply is distributed to all customers. This has meant water rationing to ensure a steady supply can be maintained. This is happening at a time when the COVID-19 pandemic makes it absolutely essential to have clean water to wash hands.
For us to not have access to water, or for there to be a challenge with the availability of water, I always saw that as being an issue. Right now, you could see that we're in the middle of a very, very sharp dry season. WASCO has done, I think, an admirable job of ensuring that it keeps the water supplies going, although I know there are parts of St. Lucia where people are complaining about not having access to water, and that's a problem. They're doing valving, I know they're rationing, but the onus is on us to continue to conserve water as much as possible.
Dr. Fletcher says, fortunately for WASCO, 16% of the water supply is being conserved due to closure of the hotels on island. He calls it a blessing in disguise for WASCO.
Also, the ships, WASCO supplies water to the cruise ships. I think that's around 1% of the water that WASCO supplies. These cruise ships are not coming in, so there's a little bit more water that's available to WASCO for distribution. But all of this points to the fact that we're living in a very water insecure country, at a point where water insecurity is at its worst. And moving forward, any development plan we have for this country must pay attention and must address our water insecurities. And there are very many ways in which we should do that.
The former Sustainable Development Minister calls for serious interventions in the water sector, chief among them being the accelerating of the desilting of the John Compton Dam. A young man from the Grosley constituency has spearheaded efforts to assist street vendors whose income sources have been gutted by the collapse of the tourism sector. Taking an unconventional route of fundraising, Kenson Bebe Casimir has organized the first ever virtual Grosley Friday night street party.
The virtual Friday night fundraiser will be held on social media on Friday, May 8th from 8 p.m. The event will feature local artists, DJs, and performers who have come together in the spirit of raising funds for Grosley vendors who have been heavily affected by the lack of tourism arrivals. This event is the brainchild of Grosley born and bred Kenson Bebe Casimir. Casimir says he rose to the occasion after realizing that many Grosley vendors may not be in the best standings with the National Insurance Corporation, hindering their eligibility for financial assistance.
Vendors in Grosley, they've not made a black cent in weeks. And I grew up in Grosley and I know these vendors depend on that little money from Friday night to actually ensure that they make ends meet. So the fact of the reality is somebody like Enda, somebody like Miss Lorna, they may not have felt like they made enough on a Friday night to pay and contribute to NIC. We have to deal with that in the future. We have to come up with a mechanism, probably through the Vendors Association, to deal with that going forward. But for now, what I can recommend is we do a virtual Friday night for them.
Casimir believes it is crucial to execute similar dynamics of the event, regardless of its new virtual presentation. He urged persons to get dressed up and engage the event as if they were there in person.
Friday night, we're looking at May 8th. What you can do is, when you put the kids to bed, you can dress up, you can go online, you can superimpose it somewhere, enjoy the music. If you, like me, when you come to Friday night, you buy 3 malls and a bottle of water or juice and you spend $20. We open an account, a GoFundMe account. You put that $20 in that GoFundMe account. We spread that through St. Lucia, through the Caribbean, through the world. People know about Friday night. We try to raise some money for these vendors.
Attendees can expect familiar entertainment as artists and DJs have come on board to aid in this venture. Local Denry segment artist Huya took to social media to pledge his support to this initiative and rally his fan base to get involved.
I'm calling out every Lucian, everybody who's been supporting Grosley Friday night. Yo, Kenson Casimir joins with the Vendors Association, doing something for first time ever. Grosley Friday night, virtual Grosley Friday night. Everybody need to put the differences aside and link up on this live May 8th, because I'll be there, Ezra the Fun Machine, and other artists too. World donation, you could donate whatever. Listen, this one goes straight to the vendors, the donation. So I'm telling you, yo Kenson, big up yourself. That's a good move, my bro. And I'm telling you, I'll be there to support it. So May 8th, we're going live on Facebook. Everybody joining that live.
Casimir calls on community leaders, residents, and the diaspora to participate in this venture, which promises to be fun while donating to a worthy cause. For Hot 7 News, I am Jacka Wooding.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Sports and weather are coming up after the break.